kindest of hearts. Snow White had many friends. They all played together, chased the butterflies,
These flowers are so beautiful.
and had the best time together. One day, while playing, one of her friends fell down and she got badly hurt. Snow White ran to her room and got the first aid box. And despite being a princess, she cleaned her friend's wound and applied a band-aid.
Oh, Snow White, you so caring. We will be friends forever.
So many years passed and everything was happy. Until one day the queen passed away and the king married a beautiful woman. He thought that she would love everyone unconditionally and Snow White will never be alone. But the new queen, she was a very wicked lady. She had a magical mirror in her room and every day she would stand in front of the mirror and ask,
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the most beautiful of all?
"You, my dear queen, you are the most beautiful woman in the world," the mirror said always. One day, while playing hide and seek in the palace, Snow White mistakenly entered the queen's room and stood in front of the mirror and then hid behind it. Her friends came in searching for her and saw her hiding behind the mirror in the queen's room. They took her along and started playing together. Next day, the queen went near the mirror and asked,
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the most beautiful of all?
"Snow White, she is the most beautiful woman in this world, my dear queen." The queen got very angry. She started throwing things here and there. And then she called the huntsman.
Huntsman, huntsman, come here.
The huntsman came running.
Kill Snow White.
The huntsman was shocked.
How can I kill the princess? I will punish you then.
The huntsman then very sadly took Snow White and they together went into the deep forest. They kept walking for a long time, all day long. Snow White was very tired and hungry, and after some time, she asked the huntsman. The huntsman fell on his knees and told the princess everything. Snow White lifted the huntsman and asked him to follow the queen's order.
Run away, princess, and never come back.
The huntsman went away, leaving her alone in the forest. Snow White was all alone. She kept walking for long, tired and hungry. After some time, she saw a small house. She went there and knocked on the door and asked, "Who's there?" But no one replied. So she opened the door and went inside and was shocked to see seven tiny things. She was very hungry, so she ate all the food that was kept on the tiny dining table and drank all the juice. Then she went inside the room and slept on one of the tiniest beds. The house belonged to the 7 dwarfs, the 7 tiny people who worked in the forest all day long.
With a shovel or a pick.
They went to the house. They then went into the room and saw a beautiful girl sleeping. Listening to the noise, Snow White woke up and was shocked to see the 7 dwarfs.
Who are you?
Snow White told them everything. The dwarf said,
Don't worry, princess. We are the 7 dwarfs. You can stay with us.
Snow White and the 7 dwarfs started staying together happily. The queen one day asked the mirror again,
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the most beautiful of all?
Snow White, the mirror said.
How can she?
The mirror then showed her the reflection of Snow White and the dwarfs from the forest. The queen started fuming with anger and decided to kill the Snow White herself. She then dressed up as an old woman and with a basket full of apples went to the forest.
Apple, sweet apple.
Snow White was alone that day.
Sweet apple.
On listening to the sound, she came out. The queen gave Snow White an apple, and as soon as Snow White took a bite, she fell down.
Ha 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 ha. I am the most beautiful woman in the world.
Later in the evening, the 7 dwarfs returned from work and saw Snow White fallen on the ground. They tried to wake her up, but she did not move. They started crying. On listening to the noise, a prince who was roaming in the jungle that day came there and saw the girl fallen on the ground. He tried to wake her up, but she did not move. He picked up an apple and understood that it has been poisoned. He then took out a magical potion from his pocket and took it near Snow White. And then there was magic. Snow White woke up more beautiful, more loving. She told the prince everything. The prince promised her to punish the wicked queen and took Snow White and the 7 dwarfs along with him to the kingdom, where they lived happily ever after. So, which is your favorite fairy tale? Come on.